The screen glowed in the dark living room. Damon Vale's smirk stretched wider as the reporter's voice described the nightclub fire. My sister's death. Accidents weed out the weak. His voice echoed. My stomach twisted. I whispered. Lily wasn't weak. Evelyn? Mom's voice came from the kitchen. I didn't look away from the screen. He laughed, Mom. He laughed when they showed her picture. Mom walked in, wiping her hands on a towel. Turn it off. I can't. You should, she said softly. It'll only hurt more. I shook my head. No, this isn't just hurt. This is my throat closed. But I forced the words. He killed her. Mom flinched. Don't say that. Fires happen. Not like this. I snapped. That club failed inspection 3 times. Noah told me. Don't drag Noah into this. She warned. He gives you ideas. He gives me truth. She sank into the chair across from me. Her eyes looked older than yesterday. Truth won't bring Lily back. No, I admitted, gripping Lily's silver bracelet. The metal felt rough against my palm, but it can stop him from laughing. Evelyn, please, she whispered. Let it go. Don't bury yourself in his world. I looked at her, then back at the screen. Damon clinked glasses with someone just outside the camera's frame. He was celebrating. I won't let him laugh last. Mom reached across the table, grabbing my wrist. Promise me. I pulled free. I can't. Her lips trembled. I can't lose another daughter. My chest ached. For a moment, I wanted to say yes, to give her peace. But the clip replayed, Damon's smirk replayed, and Lily's scream replayed inside me. I stood. I'm sorry, Mom. Evelyn, I need air. I slipped into my room and closed the door before she could follow. The bracelet glinted in my palm, blackened from heat, fragile like everything Lily believed in. I sat at my desk and opened a blank page. Damon Vale, I whispered. As I typed his name, CEO of Vale Group, the letters blurred as tears filled my eyes, but I kept typing. Damon Vale. I wrote it again, and again, dozens of times until the page was filled with his name, until the words looked less like letters and more like chains I could wrap around him. My hand cramped, but I didn't stop. I will walk into your world, I said out loud, voice shaking. I will walk into your empire, Damon Vale, and I will pull it apart piece by piece. The bracelet cut into my skin as I squeezed it. Even if it kills me. I leaned back, chest heaving. The page glared back at me, his name scrawled everywhere. Evelyn Hart, I said to myself, grounding the name. That's me. And this is where I turn. The diner smelled like burnt coffee. Noah slid a folder across the table. Open it, he said. I flipped through the pages. Permits, red stamps, signatures that didn't match. What am I looking at? Shortcuts, he said. Construction on the club. All of it traces back to Vale contractors. My chest tightened. You're saying Damon? I'm saying he signed off on lies. I gripped the folder. Then I should go to him, right now. Look him in the eye and know. He slammed his hand on the table. Not rage. Proof. You want justice? You walk in with evidence, not fists. I glared at him. You think I can sit here and just wait? I think you'll lose if you rush. He leaned in. Evelyn. Proof over rage. Always. I hated that he was right. I whispered. So how do I even get close enough? He smirked. A recruiter I know owes me. Temp analyst spot. Vale Group. You'll get a badge. Maybe a desk. From there, you look, you listen. My pulse quickened. Inside his walls. Inside his world. Noah corrected. I pushed the folder back toward him. And when I find something, bring it to me, he said. I'll make it loud. Loud doesn't bring Lily back. His voice softened. Nothing will. But you can make sure no one else has to die in his fire. I stared at him. You'd really risk me like this? No, he said. You'd risk yourself. I'm just not stopping you. Silence sat between us. I closed the folder, slipped it into my bag, and stood. Send me the recruiter's number, I said. He nodded. Promise me, you'll be careful. I'll promise, I muttered, knowing it was a lie. At home, Mom was waiting in the kitchen. Where were you? She asked. Out, I said. Her eyes dropped to the bag on my shoulder. With Noah? Yes. She folded her arms. And what story is he filling your head with this time? It's not a story, Evelyn. Her voice cracked. Stop chasing him. Stop chasing this. Lily's gone. I set the bag down hard. She's not gone. She's in every page of that file. Mom's hand trembled as she reached for me. Don't do this. Don't bury yourself in his mess. I'm not burying myself, I said. I'm digging him out. Her eyes filled. You sound like a stranger. I sound like someone who remembers her sister's laugh. She turned away, shoulders shaking. I can't lose another daughter. I closed my eyes, guilt pressing on my ribs. I walked over, kissed her hair, and whispered, I'll be careful. It was the biggest lie I'd ever told. When I got to my room, I pulled out the folder again. My hands shook, but not with fear anticipation. I whispered into the silence, I'm coming, Damon Vale. And for the first time since Lily's death, I felt like I was breathing on purpose. The recruiter's lobby smelled like polished wood and fresh ink. I sat clutching the folder Noah gave me, palms damp. The receptionist called my name. Evelyn Hart? Before I could stand, a smooth voice beside me said, You're here for Vale Group, aren't you? I turned. A woman in a slate gray suit watched me, her eyes sharp. Yes, I admitted. Ambitious, she said, crossing one leg over the other. Something about her made me straighten. I lost someone in that fire, I told her. I want to make sure no one else does. Her gaze softened for half a second. Elena Ward, she offered her hand. I shook it, trying to steady my voice. Evelyn Hart, she tapped the folder. In my lap. What's in there? Permits, I said. Red stamps, missing signatures, proof Vale cut corners. She frowned, leaning closer. Proof is a start, but proof without leverage, it vanishes. Then what do I need? Access, she said simply. Position, a seat at the table. I swallowed. That's why I'm here. She studied me, then smiled slightly. A recruiter can put you in a cubicle. I can put you in a boardroom. My throat tightened. Why would you do that? Because I've watched Vale bury people for years. Someone bold enough to chase him? That's useful. Her confidence unnerved me. Useful how? She opened her phone, tapped a few times, then looked up. I run an impact fund, 3-month fellowship. You'll help with our portfolio. Conveniently, one of our projects partners with Vale's charity wing. That gives you a badge. Once inside, you use it. I blinked. Just like that? Not just like that, she corrected. You'll work. You'll learn. And if you want to take on Damon Vale, you'd better be smarter than he is. I hesitated. What if I fail? Her lips curved. Then you'll have tried harder than anyone else. Silence stretched. My pulse was so loud I thought she'd hear it. Finally, I nodded. I'll take it. She extended her hand again. Then welcome, Miss Hart. Her grip was strong, steady. Everything I wasn't in that moment. That night, at home, I sat on my bed with Lily's bracelet pressed to my chest. I met someone today. I whispered into the dark. Elena Ward. She believes I can do this. In my head, Lily's voice teased. Are you sure you're not scared? Terrified, I admitted. But I'm still going in. I pictured her smile, the way she used to say the world was good. I wanted to believe her, but Damon's laugh replayed instead. I opened the binder Elena gave me, balance sheets, annual reports, endless rows of numbers. They looked cold, lifeless. Then I heard Elena's voice in my head. Numbers tell stories if you listen. I traced the columns. Missing funds, overstated revenue. The holes looked like burn marks. These are maps, Lily, I whispered. Maps to grief. And I'm going to follow them. My phone buzzed. A text from Elena. First day starts Monday. Be ready. I stared at the message, then back at the bracelet. I'm ready, I said out loud, though fear still sat heavy in my chest. But this time, fear didn't stop me. It pushed me forward. The ballroom glittered, but the air was cold. I pressed Lily's bracelet into my palm and whispered. Soon, Damon Vale stood on the stage, smiling for cameras, his voice smooth as glass. Vale Group is proud to support the community, he said. Together, we build a stronger tomorrow. My jaw tightened. You build graves, I thought. I slipped through the crowd, repeating my alias in my head. Eve Hartley. Eve Hartley. A voice stopped me. Miss Hartley, isn't it? I turned. Marcus Hale's polite smile didn't touch his dead eyes. Yes, I said, forcing calm. And where did you study? He asked. State? I answered quickly. He nodded once, already dismissing me. Good. Always need fresh minds. He moved on, but I felt his eyes linger too long. I drifted toward the finance team's table, listening. Ghost in voices again. One accountant muttered, Don't say that here. Another hissed. Not with her around. Relax, the first said. She's harmless. I smiled faintly, pretending to study the wine list. I leaned closer. Busy night? The younger one looked up nervously. Always, she said. Numbers never stop. I wouldn't survive your workload. I said lightly. You must live here. She gave a quick laugh. Feels like it. Her colleague shot her a warning look. She went quiet, but I'd heard enough ghost invoices, tied to the fire. I touched the bracelet again, whispering in my head, "Thank you, Lily." A waiter passed. I grabbed a glass and headed for the exit, keeping my pace steady. As I walked through the lobby, I caught Marcus's voice, low and precise, speaking into a mic clipped near his collar. "Run her badge." My stomach dropped. Fear wired through me, sharp and electric. I didn't look back. Outside, the night air cut against my skin. I pressed the bracelet harder into my palm. The game had started, and I was already inside. I found her in the stairwell. Knees pulled to her chest, tears streaking her face. "Hey," I said softly. "Are you okay?" She shook her head. "They push numbers we can't question." I crouched beside her. "What kind of numbers?" Her voice dropped to a whisper. "Invoices, transfers. We sign off, no matter what. If we ask, they remind us who we work for." "Who told you that?" I pressed. She wiped her eyes. "It's just everyone knows. But if you really want answers, ask Sienna Cross." The name caught me off guard. "Who's Sienna?" "His ex-fiancée," she said. "She left, took secrets with her, and a locked phone he still wants back." I leaned closer. "Do you think she'd talk to me?" Her eyes darted around the stairwell. "If she does, don't mention me." "I won't," I promised. Later that night, I scrolled through social media until I found her. Sienna Cross, blonde hair, sharp eyes, a smile that didn't quite reach her face. I sent a message. "Coffee?" "Just talk." To my surprise, she replied. "Tomorrow, noon, don't be late." At the caf, I spotted her in a corner booth. She was already rising to leave when her eyes caught the bracelet on my wrist. "That," she said, freezing. "Where did you get that?" I gripped it. "It was my sister's. She died in the fire." Sienna's face hardened. "I don't do pity meets," I blurted. He laughed. She stopped. "What?" When the news showed her picture, Damon laughed. For a moment, she stared at me like she was deciding whether I was lying. Then she sank back into her seat. "He always laughs when he's scared," she said bitterly. I sat across from her. Scared of what? Exposure, losing control, being ordinary. She sipped her coffee. "You think Damon's empire is built on brilliance? No, it's built on paper walls, shell companies, ghost accounts. And when it comes to safety, he cuts costs until people die." My throat tightened. "Inspection reports?" "Buried," she said. "Rewritten, shredded, disappeared. He keeps clean hands by pushing the dirt through others." I leaned forward. "Then why tell me?" "Because someone has to rip off his mask," she said. "But proof dies fast in his world. Documents vanish. People change stories. Even cops get nervous. Then what chance do I have?" Her eyes flicked to the bracelet again. "More than most. But only if you don't become him." "I won't," I said quickly. She raised an eyebrow. "Revenge changes people. You start with justice. You end up with blood." Her words struck harder than I expected. I forced myself to nod. "So help me." She leaned back, folding her arms. "I'll tell you what I know, when I can. But you swear you don't turn into him." "I swear," I said. The lie tasted sweet, like the anger already blooming in me. She studied my face, then finally said, "Fine. But if you burn alone." I whispered, "I won't burn." "He will." Sienna didn't smile. She just slid a napkin across the table with a phone number scribbled on it. "Use this carefully," she warned. "And remember, proof dies fast." I tucked the napkin into my pocket, my hand brushing Lily's bracelet. Inside, I wasn't sure if I could keep my promise. The anger felt too good. Detective Grace Miller leaned back in her chair, arms folded. "You, again," she said flatly. "I closed your sister's case 2 years ago." I set Noah's folder on her desk. "And you closed it wrong." Her eyes narrowed. "Convince me." I opened the file. Permits signed by Vale Contractors. Ghost. Invoices the accountants whisper about. Shell companies Sienna Cross confirmed. And a gala full of nervous employees afraid to speak. She scanned the papers, her jaw tight. "You're telling me negligence wasn't negligence?" I leaned forward. "It was murder disguised as accounting." Her pen tapped against the desk. "If I reopen this, I need more than whispers." "I'll get you more." Grace studied me. "You're already inside Vale, aren't you?" I didn't answer. Her eyes sharpened. "You play spy, you get hurt." I forced a smile. "Then watch my back." She sighed, scribbled a note, and slid it into her drawer. Fine. Files reopened. Quietly. Back at Vale, I slid Elena's badge at the donor wing door. The lock beeped open. Rows of computers hummed in the dark. I sat, heart pounding, and pulled up the donor database. Charity entries filled the screen clean on the surface. But beneath, links led to a vendor account. Building safety inspections. My breath caught. Why would a donor database link to fire? Safety? I copied file names onto a drive. Footsteps echoed behind me. Wrong wing. Marcus Hale's voice cut through the air. I turned slowly, forcing calm. I got lost. This place is a maze. He stepped closer, smile polite, as sharp. Funny. People usually get lost near elevators, not locked rooms. I clutched the flash drive in my pocket. Guess I'm not most people. Marcus tilted his head. Careful, Miss Hartley. Curiosity isn't always a virtue. I smiled thinly. Neither is loyalty. For a long moment, his eyes pinned me in place. Then he stepped aside. Find your way back. I walked out, every nerve burning. Later, I met Grace in a parking lot. Vendor name? She asked. I handed her the drive. Link to donations. Inspections rerouted through them. She plugged it into her laptop, scrolling fast. This isn't charity. It's laundering compliance. Can you prove it? I asked. Not yet, she muttered. But I'll shadow the owner. See who he talks to. Careful, I warned. She shot me a look. Says the woman breaking into databases. I almost laughed, but the sound stuck in my throat. This company doesn't just hide mistakes. It feeds on them. Grace closed the laptop. Then let's starve it. That night, I sat on my bed with Lily's bracelet cutting into my palm. I whispered. I thought I was stepping into an office, but I'm inside a machine that eats people alive, and I knew I wasn't stepping back out. Elena poured tea and gestured toward the man beside her. Evelyn, meet Riley Chen, corporate lawyer. Don't let the calm face fool you. He eats balance sheets for breakfast. Riley adjusted his glasses. Show me what you have. I slid the flash drive across the table. Files from Vale's donor database. They link to a safety vendor. He opened the files on his laptop, scrolling fast. Interesting. Related parties. Money siphoned from one hand to the other. See here? Maintenance becomes margin. Classic. I leaned closer. You're saying they stole safety funds? Not stole, he corrected. Rebranded, pocketed, turned blood into numbers. The words made my stomach twist. And people died because of this. Yes, he said calmly. But if you want to win, don't just expose him. Own the room where exposure is decided. What room? I asked. Shareholders, boards, votes. He closed the laptop. Power isn't about who yells loudest. It's about who controls the table. I turned to Elena. And you think I can do that? She nodded. We buy small. We grow quiet, step by step, until you have a voice. No one can ignore. I hesitated. I don't even know how to start. You don't need to, she said. I'll set up a fund in your name. We'll purchase Vale stock in pieces. Not enough to scare them, just enough to matter. I swallowed hard. You're serious. As serious as Damon Vale's laugh, Elena said. Riley leaned back. Expose him, and they'll call you reckless. Own shares, and they'll have to call you shareholder. I whispered. That's leverage. Elena's eyes gleamed. Exactly. That night, I sat at the kitchen table. Mom watched me with shaking hands. You're different, she said quietly. I'm busy, I replied, avoiding her gaze. She reached for my arm. Evelyn, talk to me. I sighed. It's nothing you need to worry about. Her grip tightened. I already lost Lily. I can't lose another daughter. Her words pierced deeper than I wanted to admit. You won't, I lied. Her eyes glistened. Promise me. I leaned down, kissed her temple, and whispered, I'm safe. The words tasted false on my tongue, but I forced a smile. She smiled weakly back, believing me. Later, I lay in bed clutching Lily's bracelet. Sleep dragged me under. Smoke curled through my dream, thick and choking. I saw Lily walking through it, her face calm but distant. Don't lose me to your anger, she said. I reached for her. I won't, I promise. But she faded, leaving only fire. I woke with tears soaking my pillow, chest aching as if the smoke had followed me out. Whispering into the dark, I said, I'll keep you with me, Lily. I'll win this for you. Even if it kills me. Sienna's voice came through my phone. Check your inbox. You'll like this. I opened the file. Damon's voice filled the room. Dummy sets on sprinklers. Cheaper than the real thing. Laughter followed. I clenched my jaw. He joked about lives. He thinks he's untouchable, Sienna said. Now you have proof he's not. I forwarded the file to Riley. Tell me this helps. It does, he said. We'll build a whistleblower packet. Strong, clean, undeniable. Do it. I said. He glanced at me. We encrypt copies. One for Noah. One for Detective Miller. One for the regulator. Backups keep you alive. Noah answered on the first ring. You're finally giving me something? Yes. Protect it. Publish if I disappear. He went quiet, then said, Don't joke about that. I'm not. Detective Miller texted back. Received. Careful, Evelyn. Later, Elena circled me. Like a trainer. Evidence is good, but shareholders decide if he falls. You need allies. How do I get them? By earning trust. Practice. She pointed to the mirror. I swallowed and faced my reflection. I'm Evelyn Hart, and I seek 3 board seats to fix what's broken. Elena shook her head. Again, less anger, more authority. I tried again. I'm Evelyn Hart, and I represent change. Better, she said. Remember. Rage frightens. Resolve convinces. I nodded, though the rage still burned hotter than resolve. The next day, I walked through Vale's marble halls. A shadow cut across my path. Marcus Hale. Miss Hartley, he said smoothly. Our system flagged your access. I forced a calm smile. Systems make mistakes. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. People do too. I kept my chin up. Then maybe we both should be careful. His eyes lingered on me, sharp and cold. Then he stepped aside. Enjoy your day. I walked away, my legs trembling. Only when I reached the stairwell did I exhale. That evening, the news blared from my laptop. Vale's PR rep beamed for cameras. We've received inquiries from regulators. We welcome transparency and remain committed to excellence. I muted the screen. Behind the smile, I heard it the snap of nerves, and for the first time, I believed Damon Vale was starting to feel afraid. Noah called me before sunrise. It's live, he said. I pulled up his article. Inside Vale Group's safety black box. My throat tightened at the headline. You actually published it. Proof over rage, he reminded me. Remember? The phone buzzed again. Sienna. Turn on the news. On screen, Damon stood behind a podium. These so-called whistleblowers are spreading lies. Vale Group has always been committed to safety. I muttered. Committed to profit. Investors in the background shifted uncomfortably. Damon's smile looked thinner than usual. Later, Grace leaned against her car. We raided the vendor's office. The files match your copies. You're saying it's real. She raised an eyebrow. You doubted yourself? I shook my head. I just needed to hear it. Grace shut the folder. Keep pushing. He's cracking. That evening, I booked a small hotel conference room. A handful of shareholders trickled in, wary eyes sizing me up. One man scoffed. Why should we listen to you? I stood at the front, hands shaking only slightly. Because you're bleeding. Money while Damon covers lies with ribbon. A woman frowned. So you want to burn it all down? No, I said firmly. We don't need his empire burned. We need it rebuilt. Murmurs rippled through the room. An older man leaned forward. And who exactly are you? Silence pressed down. My chest burned, but I forced the words out. I'm the sister of a girl who died for his profit, and I will not break your company. I will clean it. For a moment, no one spoke. Then one woman nodded slowly. Another crossed her arms but didn't leave. Not victory, but not defeat either. The door opened. Sienna slipped inside, heels clicking. She dropped a folder onto the table. Board minutes private. I opened it. My stomach knotted. Notes? About cost-cutting, deliberate safety delays, signatures scrawled across the margins. One shareholder whispered, God help us. Not God, I said quietly. Us. As the meeting broke up, I headed for the lobby. Marcus stood near the exit, looking more tired than sharp. You don't know what you've set loose, he said. I stopped. Then tell me. His jaw clenched. You think Damon's the only one who'll fight to keep this quiet? You're playing against people you don't even see. I met his gaze. Good. Let them come into the light. His eyes flicked to the folder under my arm. Be careful what you carry, Miss Hartley. I'm not careful anymore, I whispered. He shook his head, almost pitying, then walked away. I stood there, hands trembling so hard I nearly dropped the folder. Grief wasn't dragging me under anymore. It was becoming a lever. Riley paced the hotel room, index cards in hand. Slow down, he said. You sound like you're racing. I am racing, I muttered. My heart's been sprinting for weeks, then force it to walk. Start again. I drew a breath. I'm Evelyn Hart, and I seek 3 board seats to fix what's broken. Better, he said. Keep your shoulders square. Authority, not apology. Elena adjusted my blazer. Remember, presence is half the battle. You don't ask for respect. You walk in as if you already own it. I don't own anything, I whispered. You own truth, she said. That terrifies them more than money. The door opened. Sienna stepped in, folder in hand. You're sure you want to do this? I asked. Her jaw tightened. I watched him cut corners with lives. If I don't speak, I'm just as guilty. Riley nodded. We'll use your testimony to tie the forged attestations to his orders. Then the audit trail seals it. Assuming the board listens, I said. They will, Elena said. Especially once Miller arrives. The boardroom smelled of leather and fear. Damon sat at the head, smile smooth, voice dripping charm. Ladies, gentlemen, he began. Don't let outside noise distract us. Vale Group is strong. Grace Miller entered mid-sentence, dropping a subpoena on the table. The room shifted. Damon's smile cracked. This is a circus. I rose slowly. No, Damon. This is justice. His eyes narrowed. Who even are you? I met his gaze, steady. I'm the sister of Lily Hart. You laughed when she died. Silence blanketed the room. One director cleared his throat. Let's hear the evidence. Riley opened the files. Audit trail shows safety funds diverted into shell accounts. Maintenance budgets rebranded as profit margins. Sienna spoke next, voice clear. I witnessed Damon ordering falsified attestations for sprinkler systems. He told me inspections were a waste of time. Gasps rippled across the table. All eyes turned to Marcus. He looked pale, sweating. Marcus? One director pressed. He swallowed. I signed off under pressure. He said if I didn't, others would. I was afraid. Damon snapped. Coward. And you're a fraud. Marcus shot back, shaking. The independent directors exchanged glances. We need a recess, one said. Gavels tapped. Papers shuffled. Everyone rose. In the corridor, Damon caught my arm, fingers digging hard. You will regret this, he hissed. I peeled his hand off mine, voice steady. So will you. His eyes blazed, but for the first time, I saw fear beneath the fury. When the board reconvened, the lead director spoke firmly. Effective immediately, Damon Vale is suspended pending investigation. An emergency vote for interim control will be held. The gavel struck. The sound echoed like thunder. I sat back, gripping Lily's bracelet in my pocket. The power had shifted, and for once, it shifted toward me. The vote was counted. My hands gripped the table as the lead director announced, by 2 votes, Evelyn Hart is confirmed interim chair. A gasp rippled through the room. Damon's eyes filled. For the first time, he looked small. Please, he said, voice cracking. Don't ruin everything. I stared at him. Everything? You mean the lies? The bodies? His head shook desperately. The jobs, the workers, the pensions. If you tear me down, you tear it all down. I pressed Lily's bracelet into my palm. Images flooded my head. Exhausted employees, numbers on pay stubs, families depending on checks. And Lily, forever gone. I could crush you, I whispered, and let the company burn with you. The directors leaned forward, waiting. Noah's voice came softly behind me. What would she want, Evelyn? I turned slightly. Lily? Yes, he said. What would Lily want? My throat tightened. She believed the world was good. Then prove it still can be, he said. Silence weighed on me. Damon's tears slid down his face, not grief for Lily, but terror for the kingdom slipping away. I faced the board. My voice steadied. I won't burn it. I'll rebuild it in daylight. A director asked. How? First, I said, a safety overhaul across every Vale site. Immediate and transparent. Another director frowned. At what cost? At the cost of keeping people alive, I snapped. Then softer. At the cost of my sister's life. Already paid. Murmurs filled the table. Second, I continued. A victim fund in Lily Hart's name. Families deserve more than silence. They deserve dignity. The murmurs turned to nods. And third, I said, a full handover to regulators. No more closed doors. No more buried files. If this company survives, it survives honest. Elena spoke for the first time. This is leadership, Riley added. It protects shareholders and lives. Grace Miller, standing by the door, gave me the faintest nod. The lead director cleared his throat. Then it is decided. Interim chair retains. Authority pending review. I exhaled, trembling. Damon covered his face with his hands. A choked sob broke out. I stared at him. You're not crying for Lily. You're crying for yourself. He lowered his hands, red-eyed. You'll regret this. No, I said. I regret ever letting you decide who I was. The gavel struck. Again, my new title hung in the air. Evelyn Hart, interim chair of Vale Group. I didn't feel victory. I felt weight, but it was mine to carry. I touched Lily's bracelet and whispered so only I could hear. This is for you. I walked the floor as careful clapping tested the air. Thank you. I told them. We're doing this together. I kept walking. A woman tugged my sleeve. Are the inspections real this time? They're real, I said. Every site, every line item. A man called. And the portraits? I'm taking them down today, I said. No more shrines to power. Walls belong to workers and safety stats. I stared at the frames stacked on the carpet. Goodbye, I whispered, and set the last portrait aside. Sienna stepped in with a folder. Compliance unit starts Monday. I hired auditors who don't want autographs. Perfect, I said. Publish the vendor list and every contract. She grinned, transparent enough to blind him. Marcus hovered at the doorway, pale. He set an envelope on my desk. Eyes down. I'm resigning. I swallowed. Because the board asked? Because I asked myself, he said. I signed things I wouldn't want my kids to read. What's in the envelope? An apology I can't say right, he murmured. And contacts who'll verify what I did. I nodded. Then go home, Marcus. Start over. He left. Without looking back. My phone rang. Miller. The voice said. Charges filed. Fraud, falsification, conspiracy. I gripped the desk. Will it stick? It will, she said. Your packet held. Thank you. I breathed. Don't thank me, she said. You dragged this into daylight. Riley walked in carrying 3 binders. Plaintiffs multiplied, he said. But we can settle with dignity. Make it clean, I said. No gag orders. Truth heals faster when it talks. He smirked. You're ruining my stereotype of corporate counsel. At quarter's end, Elena joined me on the roof with paper cups. Read it, she said, handing over the report. I scanned the page. First honest quarter. She smiled. Investors didn't run. Turns out daylight isn't bearish. I laughed, tired and light. Tell them honesty is a growth metric. At the cemetery, wind pushed our coats. Mom squeezed my fingers. You look thinner, she said. I sleep now, I answered. Just not much. She stared at Lily's stone. Did you win? I didn't win by becoming him, I said. I won by refusing to. Mom nodded. Tears bright. Then bring her flowers next week too. I will, I promised. I want her name on good things. The final hearing smelled like old wood and ink. Damon stood before the judge, eyes raw. The judge spoke. Barred from serving as an officer or director for 10 years, Damon turned to me, shoulders shaking. Please, he whispered, talk to them. I met his eyes. I talked enough. He cried. Cameras clicked like insects. Outside the courtroom, Noah hugged me. You did it. I started it, I said. Now I have to run it. Sienna bumped my shoulder. We'll keep you honest. Good, I said. I want rules that outlive me. I walked toward the elevators, palm on Lily's bracelet. In my head, I said, you laughed when she died. I built something so others don't. The doors opened. I stepped in. Back to work. I told my reflection and pressed the button for daylight.